Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Renovation Sportfish. And yes, it's been 9 months since I put out a video. But anyways, I've had my ups and downs, believe me, this year. And I'm on the up now, and that's the important thing. And yeah, I did manage to get some work done on the boat. Didn't do a lot of filming because my time working on the boat was very limited this year. It was totally unexpected, a lot of it. One of the things was just a lot of overtime at work. We're really, really busy there. And that's been going on for a while, and it's still continuing right now. But that kind of took a little bit out of boat working time. And when I wasn't working, just losing the momentum, it was hard to jump back in. So that's been going on for a while. But the other thing was I had to have yet another surgery, unrelated to my last one. But this one came out of nowhere. Really, it was just a routine colonoscopy. I had one 10 years ago. Everything was perfect. And this time it wasn't. And they found a mass in there that they didn't know if it was cancer or not, 100%. Some thought it was, some thought it might not be. So they treated it as cancer, and they cut out a chunk of my colon along with the mass and sewed it back together. Everything's working fine. Ended up not being cancer, so that was a big relief. But that was basically my whole summer there, recovering from that. It's a 6-week recovery, and I couldn't lift over 10 pounds. So anyways, those are the main things that kind of put a wrench in my plans this year. So I did end up getting some stuff done. We'll talk about the positive. Got some stuff done. I had 2 projects on my list that I definitely wanted to get a good chunk done this year. And one was the stringer project that I've been working on for quite a while now. Put out a lot of videos on it, and I managed to get that basically done. I didn't film anything over this time period this year because when I worked on the boat, I wanted to just work on the boat. I didn't want to have distractions. And so I have a few little updates and just a basic update videos of what this video is going to be. So that was one project. The other one was the Gelcoat cracking in the bottom. I touched on that very briefly here and there. Really haven't been filming that anyways. I didn't really plan on filming that. This just was a daunting task that I just did like 2 foot by 2 foot section every once in a while. But I decided this year at the end of the summer, once I was recovered, to just knock that out. And I did get it basically knocked out. So that's a huge relief. So I'll show you how that came along. I just finished it last weekend. This is October 1st now. Well, one more thing before I start the stringer thing. Some might be still curious as to whether or not I'm still at the same marina, and yes I am. The marina, we were notified that we were supposed to get the boat out by the end of April, but what ended up happening was the marina went up for auction. Somebody bought it and decided to keep it a marina. I mean, they have a lot of work ahead of them. Because it was, they just had a lot of work ahead of them. But yeah, so I'm still at the same marina. I didn't have to move the boat, although I was preparing the boat to move it because I thought it was. But yeah, for now, we're still here at the same old place. So now let's go check out the stringers. And so I've got this area in the bilge inside the cabin. That's where the water tank is going to go. I'm going to fiberglass that whole area, including the little divider panels. And then this area over here, you might remember this from a previous video. I fiberglassed over a couple of through holes that were here, and I already fiberglassed the bottom part. So I'm just going to go up the sides and get some extra tabbing in the corners. So now we're back here in the cockpit, and where we left off last year was with these 2 stringers here. I've got a couple layers of fiberglass on them, but they need like 3 more layers each, so I'm gonna fiberglass those. Once I get those done, I'm gonna fiberglass back here where I had to modify this piece of wood to fit the stringers in. So I'm gonna put some fiberglass in there to tie that in. Then it's hard to visualize here, I got a bunch of junk, but there's a couple beams that I call them beams that go across here. Alright, well, it's June 11th, and 2 days ago I finished fiberglassing these center stringers. So both of them have all of their layers of fiberglass on them. It's 5 in total. I did 3 just over the last couple weekends. And it's a huge milestone to get this done, because that was a massive fiberglass job for me, doing it by myself. And yeah, it's pretty intense. It's a long day to put that in, but they both came out good. You probably noticed these little black spots on the top of the stringer. That's just where I marked fiberglass so I can get it centered on there. It's the easiest way to do it. This transom area here in between the stringers definitely needs some work and some fiberglass, where I modified everything to get these stringers in. Alright, well, as you can see, that's been fiberglassed, and actually it's been sanded down and blended in. Today I'm intending to put a couple coats of epoxy on that, just to blend it in even better and give me something to sand when I actually paint it later on. I've also got the stringers all sanded back here for the most part, and this here I haven't filmed anything on, but this is what I've been working on the last week. I intended to film this, but something's come up and there's been some urgency to get this done on my part, and yeah, so I didn't film it. I decided to keep the cameras tucked away and just focus on it because, yeah, I didn't want any distractions. But you've seen me put in and cut plywood and put these kind of things in. The only difference of this and the stringers is just a single piece of 3/4 inch plywood. It's not 2 half-inch pieces laminated together. So yeah, I'm going to fiberglass these today and go over the transom back there, and when all that's done, I'll shoot another video clip for you so you can see the results. Well, I never shot that video clip, but I am fast forwarding here, and everything's been fiberglass, sanded, blended in, and re-epoxied. And before I start sanding it, I figured I'd take this video because you can see by the shine there, it really highlights how smooth it actually is, and it sands really easy with just like 120 grit paper by hand. See this one, I started sanding the top of it already. But yeah, that's it. I'm really loving how this came out. I'm so glad I redid all this stuff, because not only is it stronger and better, but it just looks better too. And it doesn't have any areas that dirt junk is going to collect in. You know, you can see on the transom back there, I started sanding, especially with the rudders are going to come up there. But that's it. I'd like to get a shot of everything, but I can't lift things. I can't lift this centerpiece out right now. I can't lift more than 10 pounds right now per doctor's orders, so I got a couple more weeks. I can't even lift this thing out of here. But yeah, but I can sand, and so that's what I'm concentrating on right now. I'm just doing what I can do, and yeah, loving this. I'm not going to sand all of this now. Once I can lift more weight and do more things, I'll move on to other things, and I'll sand this down mostly in the fall when it's a lot cooler. It's hot right now. It's the middle of August, and I just had the fan turned off for now. But yeah, so we'll show you the front here. It's all done. So, and I've gotten some work done down in there. I still have to put that piece in right just before that limber hole right there. It's going to be another limber hole back here once I put that in, but I haven't got to the limber holes yet on the new stringers. Alright, so as a final update before I put this video together, as you can see, we have limber holes. I've got them in all over the place. I don't know if you can even see that one over there, but they're all in the front of the boat, and I have to crawl around because I've got all this decking in here, and it's kind of a pain. But yeah, then there's another one back there. And we have them, sorry for the crazy camera work, but I'm crawling around, and we have them over here, and way over there. So now we're in the cabin, which is a complete disaster at the moment. I have the floor hatch areas opened up. I'm going to show you what else I worked on besides the stringers. While I was doing fiberglass, I got all this area fiberglass. This is where the water tank is going to be. So I just cleaned it up. I got fiberglass on this piece over here, and it still needs to be sanded and things. I'm just recutting open the limber holes there. But this wasn't even on my list of things to do, but since I was doing fiberglass, I decided to do it. So I got that going. And then over here, this is where the sump was, and I got junk in here. Yeah, this is where the sump was, and if you followed along, there was a raw water intake for the toilet over here, and a black water overboard thing. I got all that out of there. I've had videos on that. So this is that area, just to give you a little context of where we're looking. I fiberglassed all the way up to the top, and then I went back in and, well, I fiberglassed over the top, and I already fiberglassed the bottom, and I went back in and did some tabbing from here to here just to get the strength back in the tabbing portion of it. 3 layers. You can see the layers here, and I thought this was a good opportunity to kind of show the progression of how I'm doing my fiberglass work and how I'm getting it smooth. It's not for everyone, and barely anybody does it, but I want a certain quality in a certain way. So you can see up here where I put the fiberglass in, and I sand it down, but I'm not sanding this area here because it's got epoxy on it. I mean, I'm sanding it, but I'm not grinding it. I'm only grinding the layers, and you can see the layers here. So it comes out like this in the beginning, and so it's just this portion right here that needs to really be ground smooth, and it's got epoxy on it, so this area is already pretty smooth. It just needs a sanding, quick sanding. So this kind of shows it, how I'm doing it. And like I said, this is how I'm doing it. And it's because I want it a certain way in certain areas. And easy to clean down the road, and that's what I'm doing. So anyways, that's the update on this area. I'm not going to do anything more on this. It's not important to get anything done in here. I do still have to put in a piece up in here that I took out, but that's no urgency either. I'm going to move on to other projects now and just cover all this up for a while. And yeah, you probably won't see it again for quite a while. Bob out. Well, there she is. Like I said, same old place. But she does have a nice non-cracked bottom, which is, you know, it's not the glamorous kind of thing, but oh my God, it was just walking around here to show you. Because last time I showed you guys, I had from that jack stand forward to do. Now it looks a little patchy here and there, but there's no cracks anywhere anymore. It's all done everywhere. And like I said, daunting task to say the least. If you saw some of my videos on it, somebody described it as a printed circuit board, which I got a big kick out of, but still have to do with these the blocks I did some cracks around it, but I couldn't really get in there. So that's gonna have to wait till I actually either move the boat or put it in the water. Same deal down on that blocking down there. This hole here is where the drain was, and all the Gelcoat came off around that when I actually took the drain off, and I had to fiberglass over that and grind all the Gelcoat out around there, but it came out good. So that's the port side. So it's looking good. all the way down. Just take a tour around. Because it's going to be nice not to even think about this anymore. There was cracks everywhere. There's just some rain. It was just some drain there, so it's fine. Dirt is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, and then the starboard side, same thing. Got it all done all the way down. No more cracks anywhere. That hole there was where the depth sounder was. That was actually pretty good underneath that. Although there was no sealant there at all, hardly. That would have leaked like a bugger. So glad I took that off, but putting all that back on at some point. But yeah, it was a daunting task. It's now done. The only thing I have left now is under those blocks, like I said, and then under all these jack stands, which I will do next year, and then also put on a full epoxy barrier. This is just something to put on there for now. I'm going to sand it all, put a proper epoxy barrier on it, and that'll be done. So my back is happy because I was laying on my back for a long time. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the Gelcoat cracking for now. And yeah, we'll move on to funner things. And while I was recovering and I couldn't do a lot of heavy lifting at all, nothing over 10 pounds, I basically cleaned all the steering parts. So that's going to be my next project that I want to tackle on the boat, which I'm going to start hopefully this week and this weekend. Alright, so as you can see, we're back here at the shop, and before I close out this video, just wanted to give you a little sneak preview of what's going to come up in the next video. Since you lasted this long in this video, I might as well show you what's going to come up in the next one, and hopefully it's not going to be 9 months from now. Here's the progress on steering components, just a quick preview. I'm going to get into all this in the next video, but there's the rudders there, and then I have a whole workbench of parts that have all been cleaned up and ready to be mocked up in there. They're not going to be put in permanently. Got this hydraulic steering system. Didn't have a hydraulic steering system before. Just going to be concentrating on the components at the transom and the rudders, and you'll see why when that video comes out. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. You know, probably not worth the 9-month wait, but anyways, I understand that. But yeah, so we're back on track, hopefully, for the rest of this year and hopefully next year too, to get some work done and get some videos out. So thanks for watching, and thanks for coming back and holding out for so long and being patient with this video stuff here. But yeah, things happen, and that's the way it goes. So until next video, have a good one, and we'll see you soon right here on Renovation Sportfish.